When we talk about the childhood disorders, they basically range from a complete list of disorders, which basically includes the OCDs, the anxiety disorders, the panic disorders. A lot of phobias are also concerned and attached to these kind of childhood disorders. Then there are a lot of attachment disorders that are quite peculiar to the childhood of an individual, and some of the adolescents are also involved in these kind of the attachment disorders. Then we also come across school refusals. Such behaviors are also seen in the childhood as well as in the adolescence. And then we have the ADHDs, that is the attention deficit hyperactivity syndromes. And all of these syndromes, as well as the autistic spectrum disorders, they are related to the childhood of an individual. So some of these disorders we've already discussed, and some will be discussed subsequently in this lecture. Here over in this section, we are focusing on the emotional disturbances of an individual. So if a person is emotionally disturbed, obviously the behavior of that individual will also be affected. So we are talking about the group. The age group is basically the child group, that is almost 1 to 10-year-old. And they are disturbed emotionally, and their behavior is also being affected due to this emotional disturbances. So we'll be defining these emotional disturbances over here and what effects they're going to have on the different goals of life these children are going to face, and the different challenges of life they're going to face. The introduction basically consists of the risk factors that are involved and that basically make the child more prone to the development of such kind of emotional disorders. Then we'll be focusing on the classification of these emotional disorders. The prevalences will also be discussed over here. So it's quite an underrated problem. Usually the people think that the emotional disturbances, they are a normal part and parcel of a childhood age group. But the abnormality arises when these emotional disorders are going to hinder the life of that individual, the life of that child. The intellect is going to be affected. His academics are going to be affected due to these emotional disturbances as well as the behavioral disturbances. The peer relationship is also going to be affected, as well as the people surrounding him, his family, his or her family, his or her friend circle is going to be affected due to these emotional disturbances over here that we are discussing. The risk factors, obviously, they range from the familial, that is the genetic predisposition, as well as the environmental factors. They play their very important role in making a person more prone to the development of such kind of emotional and behavioral disturbances. So the emotional disturbances that we're talking about right now, it's basically a condition exhibiting one or more of the following characteristics over a long period of time and to a marked degree that adversely affects a child's educational performance as well. So the key points over here in this definition will be the condition would be over a long period of time, as well as there will be a marked degree. So the degree and the severity is also going to be basically encompassing whether the person is suffering from the emotional disturbances or it's just a way of life in his or her basically tenure. So the child's educational performance is also going to be affected over here. So these key points that we have to keep in our mind: the severity of the disease, the duration of the disease, as well as the educational performances are going to be affected in this way. So the inability to learn are not explained by the other factors. So the key point over here, the school teachers or the school administration, they will come up with these points that the child is not learning in the proper or in a normal manner as the other children, and it's not explained by any other factors. The inability to have interpersonal peer relationships, even developing those social skills to develop the peer relationships, they're going to be affected. His education, his intellect is going to be affected, academics as well as the social skills. There's going to be an inappropriate behavior or feelings under the normal circumstances. There's going to be a pervasive mood of depression or unhappiness, and then the tendency to develop the physical symptoms or fears. So there's going to be the unnecessary phobias and fears. The child's thoughts are mostly going to be pessimistic around the people that are surrounding him, the environment that is surrounding him. He is going to be pessimistic even about his or her future. So these are the thoughts or the thought content that he's going to suffer from, as well as the unsocial skills that he's going to gather. They're going to distinct him or differentiate him from the normal individuals, and they're going to basically highlight that the child is suffering from the emotional disturbance over here. So the illnesses that affect a person's thought, behavior, and feelings, these three components of life will be affected when a person is suffering from emotional disturbances. First of all, the thought content is going to suffer, and then we'll move on to the behavior of the individual, and then the feelings are going to be more of the pessimistic, exaggerated, as well as the depressive content is going to be highlighted in the feelings of the individual. The possible causes over here that can relate to the emotional disturbances are a diseased individual. So the health and fitness of the individual is the prime factor over here. The use of drugs, substance misuse, or the intake of alcohol. These can be the possible causes that can result in such kind of emotional disorders. Accidental brain injury or trauma can also be one of the causes that can relate to the emotional disorders. Now, when we move on to the classification of the emotional disorders, the normal emotional reactions, they are the mainstay over here. And then we have the abnormal emotional reactions as well. The child is going to suffer from the morbid disorders of emotion, the morbid disorders of the expression of emotions. So even the emotions that he's going to carry, they are going to be pessimistic. The expression of emotions is going to be in a depressive mode, and he's going to basically go into a nutshell, go about as an unsocialized person having problems with the peer relationships. These are the disorders that we can basically carry on. They can basically manifest themselves individually in a child, or there can be a collection of symptoms in a single child. The prevalences of emotional disorders, the US Department of Education reports that almost 418,000 students aged 6 to 21 received the special education services for an emotional disturbance by a study which was carried in 2008 and 2009. It is the fifth largest category for the children in this age group. So it is not something that we should ignore. It's a very prevalent disease. A lot of children are suffering from these kind of emotional disorders and they need help. So working as a practicing psychiatrist or a clinician, one should know how to diagnose these cases and counsel these children to move on and basically become a fruitful subject to the society. Mostly they are under-identified. It's basically an under-identified category over here. The oppositional defiant disorder, they can manifest as the conduct disorders as well. So there is a unique interrelationship between these kind of behavioral disorders that we're talking about. The oppositional defiant disorders, they can also manifest as the attention deficit disorders, which were previously diagnosed as the conduct disorders. Then we have anxiety and depression, which can also manifest as the conduct disorders over here. So the childhood disorders that we'll be discussing subsequently, they consist of the anxiety disorders, phobias, OCDs, that is the obsessive compulsive disorders, separation disorders, attachment disorders, and school refusals. So in this section, basically, we highlighted the different childhood disorders, primarily the emotional disorders that we'll be discussing subsequently. So that is the end of this section. Thank you for watching sqadia.com.